I was 82 years old when my own family accused me of stealing $40,000.
They humiliated me. The police questioned me. My neighbors judged me, but they had no idea where the money really was. I never imagined that after spending more than 82 years on this earth, the hardest battle of my life would not be against illness, loneliness, or old age. It would be against the doubt in my own heart. It would be against the people I loved the most. My name is Margaret Wilson, and I live in a quiet suburb of Columbus, Ohio. For over 60 years, I worked as an elementary school teacher before retiring. My late husband, Richard, passed away nearly a decade ago, leaving me with memories, a small pension, and the beautiful home we had built together. After his death, my son Daniel insisted that I move in with him, his wife Emily, and their 2 children. He told me I would never have to feel lonely again because family should always stay together. I believed him. I packed away decades of memories, sold my little house, and moved into theirs, thinking I would spend my remaining years surrounded by love and laughter. At first, everything seemed perfect. Every morning, I woke up before everyone else, made pancakes for my grandchildren, packed their lunches, did laundry while Emily was at work. I loved being useful because it made me feel like I still belonged. Watered the flowers in the backyard and folded laundry while my grandchildren adored me. 8-year-old Sophie would crawl into my lap every evening with a storybook, while 12-year-old Ethan loved listening to my stories about growing up in America during the 1960s. Daniel often thanked me for helping around the house because childcare had become expensive. Emily smiled politely most days, but I noticed small changes over time. She began criticizing little things, how I loaded the dishwasher, how I folded towels, even how much electricity I used when watching television. Whenever I offered to help, she would sigh as if my presence annoyed her. I told myself she was simply stressed from work. After all, life wasn't easy. She worked as a financial analyst, Daniel owned a construction company, and everyone seemed busy all the time. I kept reminding myself that families go through difficult seasons. Then came the day that changed everything. It was a Friday afternoon in early October. The leaves outside had turned brilliant shades of orange and red, and I was baking Sophie's favorite apple pie when Emily rushed downstairs looking panicked. She opened every kitchen drawer. Minutes later, she stormed back into the living room with tears in her eyes. "Daniel!" she shouted. "The $40,000 is gone." I froze where I stood. Daniel walked in from the garage, confused. Emily explained that they had withdrawn $40,000 in cash because they planned to purchase antique furniture from a private estate sale the next morning. She had hidden the envelope inside their bedroom closet until then. Now it had disappeared. The house suddenly felt cold despite the warm oven behind me. Daniel searched the bedroom while Emily questioned everyone in the house. The children denied touching anything. Then Emily slowly turned toward me. Her eyes were filled with suspicion I had never seen before. "Mom," she said, "were you upstairs today?" "Yes. I was putting away clean towels in the guest bathroom." She folded her arms. "Did you go into our bedroom?" I answered immediately. "No, sweetheart." She stared at me for several uncomfortable seconds before speaking words that shattered my heart forever. "Then can you explain why nobody else had access to the house today except you?" My hands began trembling. I looked at Daniel, expecting him to defend me, but he remained silent. Emily continued. "The cleaning company wasn't here. The kids were in school. Daniel was working. I was at the office. That leaves only one person." My breathing became shallow. "Emily, are you accusing me?" She didn't answer directly. Instead, she said, "I just want my money back." Those words hurt more than if she had screamed. I had spent my entire life teaching children about honesty and kindness. I had raised Daniel with the same values. I had never stolen so much as a dollar from anyone. Yet there I stood in my own son's living room, being treated like a criminal. Daniel finally spoke, but not in the way I hoped. "Mom," he said quietly, "if you borrowed it for something, just tell us. We won't be angry." Borrowed? $40,000 without permission. Tears filled my eyes.
Daniel, I whispered, look at me.
Do you really think your mother would steal from you? He couldn't even meet my eyes. That silence broke something inside me. Emily demanded that my bedroom be searched. I stepped aside without saying a word because I had nothing to hide. They opened every drawer, every suitcase, every jewelry box, even the I had carried since my wedding day. Nothing was found. Instead of apologizing, Emily simply crossed her arms and said, "Well, if the money isn't here, then it must be somewhere else." The accusation still hung in the air. Later that evening, I overheard Emily whispering on the phone to her sister. I don't know. Older people sometimes get confused. Maybe she forgot where she put it. I covered my mouth to stop myself from crying aloud. She wasn't just calling me a thief anymore. She was questioning my mind. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, wondering how decades of love could disappear in a single afternoon.
The next morning was even worse. Daniel told me he had reported the missing money to the local police because the estate sale seller refused to hold the furniture without payment.
2 officers arrived politely and asked everyone a series of questions. Although they remained professional, I could see from Emily's answers exactly where the investigation was heading. One officer gently asked if I would mind answering a few questions privately. I agreed because I had nothing to hide, but sitting across from those officers
Made me feel like my entire life had been reduced to one terrible misunderstanding. They asked whether I had financial problems, gambling debts, unpaid medical bills, or anyone who might have pressured me for money. I answered no to every question. I even showed them my pension statements and savings account to prove I was financially secure. Before leaving, one officer quietly said, "Mrs. Wilson, sometimes family situations become emotional. Please don't lose hope." His kindness almost made me cry. Unfortunately, the damage had already begun. Word spread quickly among neighbors after police cars were seen outside the house. At church that Sunday, people who normally hugged me only smiled politely from a distance. Some avoided eye contact completely. Others whispered when they thought I wasn't looking. I had spent 15 years volunteering in the church food pantry, yet now I felt like an outsider. Back home, Emily installed security cameras inside the living room, kitchen, and hallway. She claimed it was for everyone's protection, but we all knew what she really meant. Every movement I made suddenly felt monitored. If I walked into the kitchen, Emily checked the pantry afterward. If I folded laundry, she counted expensive clothing items. If I sat quietly in the backyard, she peeked through the window every few minutes. My grandchildren noticed the tension. Sophie asked me one evening, "Grandma, why is Mommy mad at you?" I smiled through tears and kissed her forehead. "Sometimes adults make mistakes too, sweetheart." Ethan wasn't so convinced. A week later, he quietly entered my room, holding his piggy bank. "Grandma," he whispered, "if they think you took the money because you needed it, you can have all of mine." I hugged him so tightly that we both cried. Even after everything, that little boy still believed in me. His faith gave me strength when everyone else's seemed to disappear. Still, every night I prayed the same prayer. "Lord, you know the truth. I don't ask for revenge. I only ask that my family sees who I really am before it's too late." The days slowly turned into weeks, and although no evidence was ever found against me, the suspicion never truly disappeared. The investigation stalled because there were no signs of forced entry. There were no fingerprints that pointed to a stranger, and no witnesses who had seen anyone enter the house. In the eyes of the law, there simply wasn't enough evidence to accuse anyone. But inside my own home, I was quietly living under an invisible sentence. Emily no longer asked me to help with dinner, stopped inviting me to family movie nights, and rarely looked me in the eye. Daniel remained caught in the middle. I could see the conflict on his face every day. Yet he never had the courage to stand up for me. His silence hurt more than Emily's accusations because I had raised him to know the difference between suspicion and truth. Thanksgiving arrived, but it didn't feel like a celebration. Instead of laughter filling the dining room, there was an uncomfortable silence, broken only by the sound of silverware touching plate. That evening, after everyone had gone to bed, I sat alone in the living room looking at an old family photo album. Every picture reminded me of the sacrifices Richard and I had made to give Daniel a better life. We worked double shifts, skipped vacations, and saved every dollar so he could attend college without student loans. Looking at those photographs, I couldn't understand how a lifetime of love could be overshadowed by one false accusation. A few days later, something unexpected happened. Daniel received a call from his bank regarding the large cash withdrawal. The representative explained that because the amount was unusually high, they had reviewed security footage from the branch after Daniel made the withdrawal. They asked whether someone else could have accessed his account. While discussing the timeline, the representative casually asked whether the envelope
with the cash had been placed inside the white document folder that had been handed over at the bank.
Daniel immediately remembered that it had. That small detail sparked a memory in Emily's mind. She suddenly recalled taking the white folder out of the shopping bag. She remembered placing it inside a storage box in the upstairs home office after being interrupted by a work phone call. She had completely forgotten about it. Emily rushed upstairs, searched through the storage box, and found the white envelope, exactly where she had left it. Every single dollar was still inside. The money had never been stolen. It had been misplaced by the very person who had accused me. Daniel checked the money, then dropped to his knees before me. "Mom," he said, "I should have trusted you. Please forgive me." They weren't just ashamed. They were heartbroken by what they had done. Over the following weeks, they told everyone the truth and apologized to our neighbors. They even stood before our church congregation and admitted their mistake. I learned that it takes only a moment to destroy someone's reputation, but much longer to rebuild it. I forgave them, not because the pain was small, but because forgiveness brings peace where bitterness never can. Money can be replaced, but broken trust is much harder to restore. Today, when my grandchildren ask me what real courage means, I tell them this: courage is choosing truth when lies are easier, and choosing forgiveness when revenge feels justified. I prove my innocence, but more importantly, I refuse to let anger steal the kindness that had guided my entire life. That was my greatest victory of all.